Hey there, lovely souls, and welcome back to Neo Self Care, the podcast where we're on a mission to empower and uplift you. I'm your host, Vashti Ma'a, and I'm thrilled to be your companion on this journey to a happier, healthier, and more fulfilled you. Each week, we dive into the world of self care, personal growth, and all things positive and empowering. From practical tips to heartwarming stories, we're here to inspire you to live your best life. So whenever you're tuning in during your morning commute, your daily workout, or your cozy evening wind down, get ready to unlock your full potential, nurture your soul, and join our amazing community of self-care enthusiasts. You're not alone on this journey. We're in this together. So grab your favorite drink, find a comfy spot, and let's embark on another exciting episode of Neo Self-Care. Hey there, wonderful souls, and welcome back to Neo Self-Care. I am your host, Vashti Ma'a, and today we're diving into a topic that's all about empowerment, the art of saying no with grace. So how often do you find yourself saying yes when you really want to say no? I mean, really just stop for a second and play it back one time in your head. How often do you find yourself saying yes when deep down inside you really want to say no? If you're like many of us, it happens more often than you'd like to admit. But here's the thing, saying no can be a powerful act of self-care. It's a way to assert your needs, protect your boundaries, and prioritize your well-being. So today, we're going to explore how to do just that with confidence and most importantly, with grace. I like to tell people sometimes when I'm doing spiritual advising or if I'm just like happen to be in a conversation that no is a complete sentence. It does not warrant any explanation. You don't need to justify anything. It's just a no. It's just no. More times than not, I find that especially if you're like a people pleaser, you have to say, if you say no, because for real, sometimes we don't even get to the point that we say no because we just feel obligated to say yes so many times. But sometimes it comes with a no because I have to do this, and this, because it's just like trying to give you a little bit of a, like, I say like comfort zone or protection zone or whatever, to like soften the blow, because maybe you don't want somebody to look at you differently, maybe you don't want people to judge you, maybe you don't want to make anybody upset, but no is a complete sentence. And today we're going to talk about kind of the power of just saying no, the art of setting boundaries, and just the guilt-free no. So I hope that you guys really enjoys today's topic. So let's get started. So pretty much let's start with the basics. Why is saying no so important? Well, my friends, it's because saying no allows you to say yes to yourself. I'm going to run that back again so you can really get what we're saying here. Saying no allows you to say yes to yourself. It's a way of setting boundaries and protecting your time, energy, and mental health. Now, we're definitely going to get more into setting boundaries part, right? But I want to just talk about this for a little bit. In the beginning, I asked you, have you ever said yes when you really meant no? If so, you know how uncomfortable that feeling felt with you. Rather it was cringe, rather it was like frustration, like dang, now I have to do this. So you know how it feels to have that discomfort. You know how it feels to feel that dis-easement in your body when you're unaligned with what you felt you really should have said. when now you're obligated, you're stuck, maybe you missed out on something, maybe you just wanted to spend some time by yourself, but you didn't want to disappoint somebody else, and so you said yes. Well, you are disappointing somebody. You're disappointing yourself. And part of self-care is taking care of, you guessed it, yourself. So saying yes when you really mean no is really saying that you choose someone other than yourself. That the needs of other people are more important than your own personal needs. And I know that's a very, what's the term? Hypocritical statement, because it sounds like you're selfish. But at the end of the day, self-care is a little selfish. It's the one time that you can actually do for you and not for other people. And not because it's going to cause anybody else harm, because it never really causes anybody harm. I mean, they may say, oh, I really need you to do this. You have to. Oh, I was depending on you. But at the end of the day, it's about how you feel. Unless it's a job, unless you sign a contract with somebody, unless it's something that's going to cause somebody harm, you're not obligated to say yes. And to be honest, we can even go as far as saying they're not obligated to guilt trip you for you choosing yourself. So you have to get to the point where you realize there's power in that no. Because while I'm closing one door, saying no to one situation, I'm opening another door and saying yes to myself. I'm building that connection with myself. I'm deepening that connection with myself. I love myself enough to honor my emotions, to honor how I feel, to honor what feels right for me. Even if that means I have to say no to somebody else. You know, I was on TikTok live a couple of days ago. I feel like maybe it was the weekend or it could have been Monday. And I was doing a reading and for the collective, and the message was, you can't spare the feelings of everybody. And sometimes when you choose yourself, it does mean that you hurt somebody else. That's just the way life works. It's either you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt somebody else. And you can't please everybody all the time. You can't. It's impossible. And sometimes when you choose you, it is shutting the door on somebody else. It is saying no to somebody else, whether it's for the moment or for the rest of your life. It's going to cause some type of pain. So the choice really comes down to, do you cause the pain in someone else? Or do you cause that pain within yourself? Now, maybe somebody can get upset. Maybe they won't want to talk to you for some days, some hours, some weeks, some months, maybe ever again. But you can grow from that and you can heal from that. And that can be forgiven. But when you deny yourself, you can't leave yourself. You can't ignore yourself because it's always there. You are always there. So if you find that you're a type of person that kind of puts yourself on the back burner to please another person, to appeal to the needs of someone else, but you find yourself ignoring yourself, hurting yourself, denying yourself, then you got to change that. You got to switch that. And it may not be something that happens overnight. And it may not be something that when it first happens, you actually feel good about. I remember the first time I said no to somebody, especially being like a chronic people pleaser. The first time I said no, I'm pretty sure I had like a mini panic attack. Because I was like, oh my God, are they not going to like me anymore? Are they not going to like want to talk to me anymore? Are they angry? Are they telling other people? Like it was just like this mini panic attack that I had. Because I actually did something that felt right for me. I mean, think about the logic of that for a second. You stress yourself out, concerned about how somebody looks at you, how someone feels about you, because you're saying no to something that you really feel like you don't want to do. Make it make sense. There's no obligation there. Not at all. But for a lot of people, that's just the norm. How do I say no? We're so, like we grow up being told no as we're doing something. What's the first thing, like if you're a parent, if you're a mom, right? Like and your children's about to do something, what do you say? No, don't touch this. No, don't do that. No, 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 right? So we're like conditioned and taught that no is a bad thing. Oh, we don't want the no. We can't do that. We don't want that negative energy. We don't want to get in trouble, right? As a child, we're conditioned to believe that it's trouble. Ooh. But it's not. It's not. There's power. There's power in those, and it's a complete sentence. Saying no is essential for self-care. It's essential for personal growth. And it's essential for maintaining healthy relationships. And when I say healthy relationships, I do mean healthy relationships. Because if you're always saying yes when you don't mean it, it comes off as ingenuine. It's not real. It's not how you really feel. Now you may get to the point where someone's taking advantage of you because they know that you can't say no. They know that you're a people pleaser. They know that you just want the best for somebody else. They know that you don't care about yourself. And people start to take advantage. People start to manipulate. People start to gaslight. People start to take advantage of that. So you have to have a moment, you have to have a sector, if you will, of being able to, set boundaries and say no. So speaking of setting boundaries, let's get into the nitty-gritty of setting boundaries. With grace, of course, right? Because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So let's go over some practical advice on how to recognize when you need to set a boundary and how to communicate it effectively and how to handle it with, how to handle the inevitable pushback that might come your way from actually doing that, okay? I feel like that whether it's in the workplace, in your personal life, or with family and friends, there are certain strategies that you should use to empower you to stand up for your firm decisions. All right? The first step of setting boundaries is self-awareness. It's so important for you to pay attention to your feelings, to pay attention to your emotions. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling resentful, it might be a sign that you need to set a boundary. The next thing, it's all about effective communication. So when you've identified the need for a boundary, it's so crucial to express it clearly and assertively. And when I say clearly and assertively, it's not an aggression. It's not like, could it make somebody angry? Absolutely. But that's not it's not your fault. That's not your business. It's not. At all. So when you're setting a boundary, you have to be clear and specific about what you need. So try your best to avoid like vague statements and instead express your boundaries in a very straightforward manner. So what do I mean when I say that? Number one, use I statements. So instead of saying, you make me feel overwhelmed, try saying something like, I feel overwhelmed when ... So using I statements help to express your feelings without blaming or accusing others, because sometimes no matter what you say, people are going to make it seem as if you're blaming them, right? And when someone reacts to your boundaries, you just have to practice active listening. Show empathy and understanding, even if you disagree. There is so much strength and power in empathy. But this can definitely help you diffuse potential conflicts or any other thing that gets in the way. The next tip is to stay calm and firm. It's very natural for others to have reactions when you set boundaries. Very natural. But you stay calm, firm, and maintain your position without becoming defensive. Remember, setting boundaries is an act of self-care, and it's so essential for your well-being. It's not about being selfish. It's just about preserving your mental and emotional health. That's really what it's about. And it's not your fault at all if someone feels like, oh, well, you're making me feel this way, or you're making me... No. That's why we use I statements to avoid blame. Because if you say something like, I feel, there is no blame there. So if someone has a consistent issue, then that lets you know that that's not a problem with you. It's a problem with them. So set clear and firm boundaries for yourself, not for others. Now, what about that pesky little guilt that often comes or often accompanies saying no? You know, like, okay, I set my boundaries, I'm saying no, but I still feel a little guilty because, like, still, like, what if they feel some type of way? You know what I'm talking about. Well, listen up, because we're definitely going to tackle a little more about how to shed the guilt and how to embrace the freedom of putting yourself first. Because, like I said, it is freedom. It is freedom, okay? So in order to, I say, beat the little pesky no, right? You have to know that guilt can be a very heavy burden. Very heavy burden. And the first step is learning how to release it. When you say no, you're not being selfish. You're prioritizing your own well-being, and that's something to celebrate. So how do you shed the guilt, and how do you embrace freedom of putting yourself first? First, you have to acknowledge that your needs and boundaries are valid. Your needs and boundaries are valid. First, if you can't acknowledge that your needs and your boundaries are valid, there's no way that you can move forward. No way. But you have to understand that first. Your mental and emotional health are just as important as anyone else's. Your mental and emotional health are just as important as anyone else's. Next, remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. So by taking care of yourself, you're better equipped to show up for others. So what does that mean? A no today could be a yes tomorrow, right? It could be. So I feel like the more that you can really pull into yourself, the more that you can really pour into, I suppose, your cup, if you will, the more that you can do that, I feel like that, you know, it really sets the tone. Like, it just sets the tone. Pour into yourself. Tell yourself mentally, I gotta do this for me. I gotta do this for me. I gotta do this for me. It's not about anybody else. It's only about me. It's only about me. It's only about me, you know? So I kind of want to share this story that was sent in to me. For the sake of confidentiality, I'm going to change the name of the writer. So I'm going to say her name is Emily. This story is about Emily. Emily used to say yes to every request that came her way. She was the go-to person for everyone's needs. But her own well-being suffered at the hands of it. She felt exhausted, overwhelmed, and completely trapped by her commitments. But one day, Emily had an awakening. She realized that by constantly saying yes to others, she was saying constantly no to herself. And she finally decided it was time to change. So Emily started setting boundaries and saying no when it was necessary for her well-being. And at first she felt guilty. But she kept reminding herself that self-care was not selfish. It was essential. So over time, as Emily continued to prioritize herself, something magical started to happen. She felt happier, more energized, and her relationships improved because she wasn't constantly running on empty. Now, Emily did write in and share her story, but Emily was also one of my one-on-one clients, and this story is a testament to the power of saying no with grace. It completely transformed her life, and it can completely transform yours as well. Remember that self-care is not selfish. Remember that self-care is not selfish. And I feel like we may have talked about this in episode 1 or 2. I don't fully remember, but I know that we talked about prioritizing self-care. So if you need a little refresher, definitely go back and listen to the podcast episodes, because I know that we definitely dived a little deeper into that, okay? So as we near the end of this particular segment of the episode, I want you to remember that saying no isn't about being negative, and it isn't about being selfish. It's about taking control of your life and becoming a more empowered and fulfilled you. So whether it's freeing up time for self-care, pursuing your dreams, or simply asserting your needs, the art of saying no with grace is a valuable skill on your journey to personal growth and well-being. So, with that being said, I will definitely like to thank you guys for joining me for this half of the episode as we explored the art of saying no with grace. Please, please, please remember that your needs are important, and it is okay to protect them. Your needs are important, and it is better than okay to protect them. All right? So, you know what we do towards the end of the episode, right? We take a minute to talk about what we need to talk about, and then we transition into a little self-care oracle. So this time I was prepared. I have my cards right here, and we're just gonna shuffle and see what we have for us today. So what is our self-care oracle for this week? What is our self-care oracle card for this week? Ooh, let's see what wants to come out. Oh, we have 2 this time. Yes, we will take 2. Did we do this one already? I don't know. But the first card that came out is take or spend time with friends, okay? The mantra for this card is, I am surrounded by loving reflections. Friends are one of the greatest gifts in life. So plan a time to meet up with your friends in person to do something fun, even if it's only the simple act of sitting around and talking about what's going on in your lives. So if you've been out of touch with friends who keep coming up in your thoughts, make sure you get caught up with them. reach out to a friend who lives far away. Maybe even share the best of what's happened to you both and see what you can learn from each other to propel you forward on your journeys. To call in even more fun and a more profound sense of connection, maybe even plan a goddess circle with your besties. Bring your friends together to share wisdom and experiences around a theme, or arrange a ritual to celebrate the new moon, the full moon, or the solstice. So your journal prompt with this card is, are there new friends you want to call in? If so, write out the qualities that these new friends hold to help usher in their arrival in your life. Now, I do feel as if we had that card before, and I know for a fact that we have the second card. But like normal, we don't question the divine. If it's coming in, it's for divine timing. So the second card that we have for the week is flow like water. And the mantra for this card is, I give thanks for the abundant waters of Mama Gaia. Water naturally carries intentions with it. As one of the 5 classical elements, it is an incredibly valuable resource for our physical and energetic bodies. It holds the power to purify us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You can infuse water with intention through your speech, thoughts, and prayers, or by placing sacred symbols or words of positive affirmation on or under drinking vessels. Tune into your mind's eye and picture the water cleansing you. Where are you? What kinds of water is cleansing you? Is it from the ocean, a river, your bathtub, or an ancient water temple? Manifest this vision in your life and look for new ways to connect with water. Skate on the ice, surf the sea, paddleboard on a lake, or even simply shower with an intention. Whichever way you go about it, offer great reverence and sincere gratitude for the waters of this earth. Your journal prompt for this week is, what beliefs and patterns would you like to wash away with the help of water? What beliefs and patterns would you like to wash away with the help of water? I was going to stop there, but I feel the need to pull the very next card that we have here. So I'm going to do it. And the card that we have here is meditate. And the mantra for meditate is, I am at peace. So find a comfortable seat in a quiet place and close your eyes. As you sit in stillness, listen as you inhale and exhale and allow your mind to settle so you can take a journey inward and upward. Meditation can be that simple. Although there are many approaches, the main goal is to empty the mind and become an observer of your thoughts, allowing them to enter and leave without attachment, labeling, or judgment. So starting with just 5 minutes in the morning or in the evening, lay the foundation for a daily meditation practice and create significant shifts in perspective. As you begin to see the benefits, you can go more in depth with your practice, incorporating guided meditations, breath work, or classes in different modes of meditation to see which resonates with you the most. So your journal prompt for the week with this self-care card is, what blocks, real or imagined, prevent you from meditating? What practical steps can you take towards removing these blocks? So I know that's going to mean that we have a whole lot of writing to do this week, you guys. But like always, it's always for a reason. Always for a reason, right? So remember to say no. Remember to stand up for what you believe in. Remember that no is a complete sentence. Remember that self-care is not selfish. And remember that you matter above all. So as we approach the end of this empowering episode, remember this saying. Saying no isn't about being negative or selfish. It's about taking control of your life and becoming a more empowered and fulfilled version of you. So whether it's freeing up time for self-care, pursuing your dreams, or simply asserting your needs, the art of saying no with grace is a valuable skill on your journey to personal growth and well-being. So thank you so much for joining us today as we explore the art of saying no with grace. Until next time, remember that your needs are important and it's okay to protect them. Make sure you leave us a review, follow us on IG, follow us on TikTok and YouTube. And if you have a question that you want us to get to the topic of or to the heart of the matter of, please do not hesitate to send us a personal email. Until next time, I appreciate each and every one of you. And say no with grace. Yes. Bye, guys.